Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Well, I'm very excited to talk to this guy. I caught him out of the corner of my eye with Brian Kilmeade yesterday. Such an amazing local talent, political talent out of Suffolk County. Gave Kathy Hochul a real run for her money. I'm very proud of Lee Zeldin for that, and I'm hoping Bruce Blakeman does the same. Bruce is, the polls are not looking very good. It's early, though, very, very early, but Lee Zeldin certainly did a terrific job, and President Trump appointed him to run the EPA, and now an even, not bigger, but another huge responsibility to help out people like my friend Ross Levinson in Los Angeles rebuild their homes. So with that said, here he is, my good buddy out of Suffolk County, Lee Zeldin. Lee, good morning, pal. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Great to be with you.
It's great to have you back, man. I'm so proud of you. You know, like guys like you, Lee, Marco Rubio, you guys have like 90 jobs apiece. You're so damn good at your first job. Trump keeps appointing you to other jobs.
Hey, listen, we're here to serve. You got to make it count. I mean, the 4 years, the president's locked in. After 4 years of doing this once, he had 4 more years to reflect on it. And he won the popular vote. He won all the battlegrounds. They tried to assassinate him, and he just wants to make every moment of every day count. And he put together a team who feels the same way. When we work well together, this isn't one of those situations where there's like this friction and competition and negativity. It's a team with great chemistry, and we're all committed to the cause.
You really are. By the way, it was great seeing you at the Republican Jewish Coalition in Vegas, and your speech was great. I meant to tell you that. I haven't talked to you since, I don't think. But you were terrific. Listen, let's get to the EPA stuff first. You really were the guy that initially exposed billions of dollars in fraud before we even heard about states like Minnesota, New York, Illinois, Colorado, which are all coming, starting with Tim Walz in Minnesota. You got on the job, Lee, and in like no time, you exposed all this fraud. You were really the person that made us all realize how much money Stacey Abrams walked out with at the end of the day. I can't stand her, out of the great state of Georgia. So let's start right there. You've uncovered billions in your job with the EPA. I imagine that's still a daily fine, yes?
Well, we can't come in, and we're going through a process where during which a video pops of a Biden EPA official talking about how they were tossing gold bars off the Titanic, and they were rushing to get billions out the door before President Trump came in. And he comes in, and they're fearing that he was going to come in and stop it, which was a pretty legitimate fear. So we get alerted to that, and it is just all over our radar coming in the door. The annual operating budget of EPA is $10 billion. In 2024, EPA obligated and spent over $60 billion, so over 6 times the size of the operating budget. And it was more than the agency knew how to spend, and they were pushing out the money to former Obama and Biden officials, Democratic donors. These people, in many respects, just weren't qualified. There's all sorts of conflicts of interest, self-dealing, and they were designing the contracts to reduce agency oversight as opposed to ensuring that we're able to oversee the money properly, including amending these agreements days before the inauguration to reduce agency oversight. So as I mentioned, $10 billion a year annual operating budget. In my first year, we found $30 billion worth of savings through canceled contracts. That was, by the way, 29 were canceled grants. 29 billion were canceled grants. 750 million in staff efficiencies. $1 million in canceled media subscriptions. 18 million in real estate consolidations. I closed this Biden EPA museum that no one visited or even knew about, and we're pretty proud of leading that effort. And but like at this point, We don't wake up every day and just, find $10 billion,
Right.
lying around to cancel because we canceled it.
Wow. So then what does your daily job look like? Before you go to Los Angeles with the EPA, what do you do every day?
Well, first off, like on the money piece, there's still money that has to go out the door legally, and I have a zero tolerance policy for any waste and abuse. So that oversight, that effort never stops. On the environmental front, our core mission is protecting human health and the environment. On the 1-year anniversary of President Trump being sworn into office, we released a list of 500 top environmental actions we took in that first year to promote clean air, land, and water for all Americans. So we never lose sight of that core mission. On top of that, we inherited a big mess on with these rules, and we are going to end up going through a deregulation process with the mess that we inherited that will be more deregulation than entire federal governments across all agencies, across entire presidencies. And for us, we're talking about doing that in the manner of months. And I'm talking about comparing us to like 8-year terms. You can't find presidencies where the entire administration did as much deregulation as what we did. And we're proud of it. We're getting back to our core statutory function. We're helping to unleash energy dominance. We're bringing back American auto jobs and ending electric vehicle mandates. The list goes on, but every single day is a really busy day. Like today, as you pointed out, I'm going to be hopping on a plane and heading out to Los Angeles.
Right, before we get to L.A., though, you talk about now we're not going to be depending on everybody else for energy. And Kathy Hochul, the lady that barely beat you, again, you did such a terrific job. I'm so proud of you. She wants windmills. She's still talking about windmills. This windmill stuff won't go away. I haven't spoken to one sane person. Not my thing, okay? Not my field of expertise. But I haven't spoken to one sane person who can point out to me, United States, Europe, Germany. They had no wind one summer. Nobody had air conditioning. No one has been able to point out to me how these things work. Also, it's bad for sea life. There are also national security issues. I know Pete Hegseth had to be contacted at one point. What is this fascination with windmills? I guess it's just another way for these folks to make money, yes?
Economically, it is nowhere near as cost effective as they try to make it out to be. They like to ignore certain aspects of the cost. They like to ignore how fossil fuels are needed to create, to design this equipment, to install it, to transmit it. They don't factor in the costs with the storage systems that have to get built and maintained. They don't like to talk about the hazards as they put these battery energy storage systems in the middle of residential areas and near schools and hospitals.
So that falls up because, and I'll give Curtis Sleever credit for this because he was really the first one when he ran for mayor to talk about this, and he talked about it extensively. We have some of those lithium battery places like Flatbush Avenue, Lee, in Brooklyn by the Oasis Diner. We got them by homes. They say if those things explode, you're about to go to L.A., they say it'll be worse than the Palisades fires.
They're very real dangers. There have been a number of fires already with these systems in New York. And the concept of placing them right in the middle of a residential community just doesn't make any sense. And by the way, as you talk about these windmills, and pointing out how cold it's been, where the spell that we're going through right now in New York, across the Northeast, but really across a lot of states throughout America. It's a reminder of how important reliable baseload power is. The ability to deliver natural gas. In many parts of the country, they rely on coal. The transmission, you need to have a strong electric grid, yes. But also, people are using oil to be able to heat their homes and to drive their cars. And really, when it gets as cold as it's been, the only thing that's really spinning, it's not these windmills. It's like all of these New Yorkers' heads because they're reminded of just how wacky the New York energy policies have been. They won't allow the safe extraction of natural gas. They're not approving a whole bunch of different pipeline projects that would be key. They won't allow gas hookups on new construction. They set climate goals that up in Albany they know they're not going to be able to meet, but they're very willing to cause extreme economic pain on their own constituents who can't afford it. The energy policies are so insane. Where I travel the rest of the country, I went to all 50 states last year, and all throughout the rest of the country, there are like tens of billions of dollars here, tens of billions of dollars there of new projects, and they are deciding they do not want to go into New York. They want to go to these red states. I'm going to these groundbreakings in like Wyoming and Arkansas and Tennessee and Louisiana, but not New York.
No, not New York. This is the head of the EPA, Lee Zeldin. Now he's been put in charge by President Trump. Couldn't think of a better guy of getting the permits done so people can start rebuilding in Los Angeles. You know, and again, you're on a flight to L.A., and I'm not sure if it's later on today. You hit the ground there tomorrow working with Barger and that awful mayor. Let me say it, you can't. Got to work with her now, that Karen Bass. I'm not sure if you're going to see the governor. He's another waste, Gavin Newsom. But I guess the feeling is the consensus, Lee, and maybe you have the same, is that you're the right guy for the job because the EPA out there cleaning up after these fires. So you guys know exactly what these residents went through, what the challenges are moving forward. Is it fair to say that that's kind of the catalyst why Trump figured out you're the perfect guy for the job?
Well, yeah, right. Well, we've been on the ground since the moment these fires broke out. President Trump came in, instantly signed an executive order, gave EPA 30 days to complete our phase 1 hazardous material removal so that Army Corps can come in for the phase 2 debris removal. We got it done in under 30 days. We massively scaled up the amount of workers we had on the ground. It was the largest wildfire response in agency history, and we crushed it. And we crushed it like as we're walking into the door at the agency. It's not even like we had our feet under us yet. So we're proud of that effort. We never left. We're very familiar with the concerns that are there, and various agencies are involved in this. And I'm traveling with Kelly Loeffler. She's the Small Business Administration.
I have to tell you that I never met her or spoke to her, Lee. She was up with John Catsimatidis less than 2 weeks ago, and he brought it downstairs. He's very good like that. She sat in with me for about 10 minutes. I love her.
Listen to this podcast now
On the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. And thank you once again for joining us on the Leadership Thread, education, ethics, and sustainability.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.